goodness. Oh, wow! In your life, have you seen anything like that?
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Cutline Golf and Broad podcast. Well, brought to you by the TAB. My name is Karl Tiley, joined in studio by my good friend Paul Mawate. How are you, Paul?
Very good, thanks, Karl. Yeah, we're just a couple of weekends away from the Masters.
A week out. Today we'll be chatting Masters.
Woohoo!
Maybe even earlier. I don't know. We might start talking Masters later. And we are joined also, not in studio though, by Patrick Jones. Patrick, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Karl. Yeah, it's certainly a great time to be a golf fan. Plenty of great stuff coming up. We've got majors each of the next 2 weeks and Augusta National Women's Open, bit of action in Texas. It's all happening, so be fired up.
Yeah, as you say, majors next 2 weeks. Very exciting, starting with the Women's Chevron Championship, which we will get to shortly. Before that, though, quick look back at last week, the WGC, probably the greatest single golf betting event of the year.
Was for us three.
It was for us three, that's for sure. Scotty Scheffler wins it in a canter, Paul.
In the end, I think the hardest part was getting through the group stage.
Yes.
After that, he looked very, very good. I mean, he looked good during the group stage, but he just had a few challenges there. But after that, certainly in the final, he fully deserved his win. He played very, very well. It's a tough, what was it, 5 days to get through. So you certainly got to be fit and up for the challenge. And he certainly was. He played very, very well. It was hard to find a weakness in his game. I mean, I can't remember what hole it was, but where he was just off the green and sort of mishit it into the bunker and then chipped in.
Oh. The boat with the boat in the background.
Exactly. They, I'm sure Kisner thought, might be a chance of pegging one hole back here, and that just got taken away in the blink of an eye. So, great by Scotty.
Yeah, Patrick, you would have been pretty happy, although not as happy, but to see your boy Kev Kisner in the final there.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good week for me too. I think Kevin was actually paying more to make the final than Scotty was to win the whole thing. I'll just mention that off the bat. But yeah, it was good. Amazing to sort of see the contrast between the finals from this year and last year. I think there was only one birdie that Scotty and Billy Ho combined for in the final last year. So I was sort of thinking that playing to Kisner's hands in this year's final, if he could sort of maybe grind out, just score a lot of pars, and Scotty's power game might be a bit reduced, but playing his fourth round in 36 hours a lot. But no, just amazing performance from him to come out all guns blazing like that, and yeah, have that many birdies on the front nine, really just take it out of reach for Kisner. It was super impressive performance. But yeah, a lot of fun overall that week. It's certainly, be sad I'm not going to be able to get as many box multis on this weekend.
I don't know if much has been made of it. I'm just having a quick look now. He almost single-handedly, Scotty Scheffler, that has destroyed the European Ryder Cup team by himself. Beat up Ian Poulter, the great match play specialist, who I think we can all say now is done in terms of match play, unless the Saudis have a match play event. He did lose to Tommy Fleetwood on the last. Then he beat Matt Fitzpatrick twice in one day. So it was a pretty good run from Scotty.
Very good. I'm just thinking how many of those players will be around for the next Ryder Cup. Matt Fitzpatrick, definitely.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if
Fleetwood will be.
I'm not sure if Poulter will be there.
No.
I mean, he has been.
And if he is, he shouldn't be.
He's been the backbone of that Ryder Cup team for a number of years now. But it looks like he may have got to the picker. He's falling down the other side now.
Yes. Patrick, that's Scotty Scheffler's third win in his last 5 starts. He's now #1 in the world. Do you expect to see him continue on this run, or is it time to lay lay Scotty for a little while.
Well, I'm not expecting him to win 60% of his golf tournaments sort of going forward in perpetuity, if that's no. But I mean, he'd been playing, if you look at his sort of top 5s and top 10s, he'd been playing great golf for a while. I mean, there's a reason he was able to get to number 1 so quickly prior to this winning run. So I certainly expect him he's going to be in that conversation sort of as top 5 or 6 chances for every big tournament going forward. But while he's number 1 on the OWGR, I'm still not, sure if I had to pick a golfer, if my life depended on it 1 week to the next, if he'd be the guy I'm going for. But yeah, certainly he's forced his way right into that conversation.
Who would you pick, just out of interest, if your life was on the line?
I think it's still got to be Jon Rahm. Like he's not playing his best golf at the moment, and he's still there or thereabouts. Like we forget so quickly just how good he was last year. He was miles ahead of the field. So yeah, I think if we're going to be getting Jon Rahm as not the favourite in some tournaments coming up, that's certainly going to look pretty appealing to me.
Who are you taking? If your life's on the line, which golfer are you backing to get you to save you? I don't know what they're doing, but presumably they're playing golf.
What course are we talking?
Any course and every course. It's the beauty of how dumb this question is.
I'd probably take DJ. I think he's coming back at the right time. Just warming up nicely, and I think we're going to see some very, very good results from him in the next month or so.
What about the next week or so? Because you can currently get DJ for $15 at the Masters.
Yeah,
probably the best price you get on DJ for the last few years.
Yeah, I don't mind DJ at 15. Don't mind him at all.
Yeah, I'll probably take Cam Smith at the moment. My life depended on it, because I mean, even if he fails and I perish, I feel like he's going to have fun doing it.
If we're talking world golf, I'm taking Jin Young Ko.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout too. She's in some serious form. We'll get to Jin Young Ko shortly. One more thing on Scotty before we move on. I think it was on Twitter perhaps. Super Bowl Sunday or Monday here, he was 70 wins, 70 starts, 0 wins, $8 million career earnings. Fast forward 42 days, 75 starts, 3 wins, $16 million in career earnings, something stupid like that.
So doubled the career earnings
in 5 starts
in just over a month and 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's truly special stuff.
3 wins in his last 5 starts.
Yeah,
he's playing some good golf.
In his last 6 starts in majors, he's finished in the top 20 in each. T19 at Augusta last year, and he had a couple of top 5s and top 10s as well in the majors. Wouldn't be surprised.
One to watch.
Wow.
One to watch, yeah. Just an up-and-comer, perhaps, you could say.
Don't leave him out of your multis.
Patrick, did you see Keegan Bradley's putting woes?
I don't think I did specifically see this.
It was like the
incident. And
then he sort of straddled the...
It was a 2-minute
line
aim point setup for, 4-foot putt?
Yeah, 4 feet.
Let's say 6, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, gee.
And if you were watching it on social media like I was, I genuinely thought the video was on loop for a little bit. I thought it was one of those piss take videos that just keeps going round and round.
No.
It wasn't.
Then he missed it.
Took 2 minutes to set himself up. Then
he lipped it
out. He did do something good though. Did you see a shot on the what hole was it? I can't remember the hole, but he put his drive up to the left, and then he had a small window through trees, and he had to cut off the bank, and he put it onto the green to about 20 feet.
No, his approach game isn't the issue here. It's when he gets on the green.
There's a lot of guys like that at the moment who are very hot but cannot putt.
I do like Austin Country Club for that sort of thing. It's a pretty quirky course, and you do get a lot of weirdness out there. So I think it's great for match play, but it would be pretty interesting to see a stroke play tournament there as well, I think, at some stage, just with especially that back nine when you get around the lake there. And you've got, was it 12, 13?
4,
yeah.
Water all the way where, what was it, DeChambeau who put it in the tunnel underneath the hospitality tent?
Oh, yeah, there's also Patrick Reed put it about 2 fairways over at one stage. Yeah. Having that hospitality tent right behind the green where they can all just backstop it right off those. Not on. I think we need to.
Yeah, it seems like a bit. Instead of a free drop from there should be a designated drop area.
Yeah, you should have to go behind the grandstand. And
yeah, I agree. Right behind the corner of the tent, so you don't have a look at the green, or you have to go at the pin by the water or something. Speaking
of rulings, was it Thomas Peters who didn't get relief? And not too much longer on the same hole, Bryson DeChambeau did get relief.
Yeah, they put them into the sprinkler head.
Yeah, but some fire ants had crawled over there by the time Bryson.
Yeah.
Well, they'll tell you who did crawl over there. The official with the green spray paint to paint over the red. After, yeah. Speaking of Bryson, played horribly, sprayed it all over the planet. How are we feeling heading into the Masters? He's still a do not touch, right?
He's not getting any of my money.
Not at Augusta. It was
no.
Yeah, he had a horrible time there the last couple of visits. So yeah, I think he's not going to alter his game much. He sort of has to play this way at the moment, it seems like. So yeah, he'll be taking a lot of visits to opposite fairways and things the next few weeks. I did enjoy. I think the first thing I got into work on Thursday morning, chucked Twitter up, and the first photo I saw up there was his ball lying right next to the PowerPoint in the University of Texas marketing tent off the first tee. So yeah, didn't have to wait long for Bryson to be right amongst the content again on his return to tour.
Yeah. $29 for the Masters.
Should no, thank you.
$229, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, I'm not touching it.
You say Patrick not for Augusta, like perhaps you could be picking him this week.
No, not touching him this week either. Yeah, it's not a course where we'll get to it later, but yeah, distance isn't the be all and end all here. So yeah, I'll wait till we get to the summer and we get to a few of these wide open courses in the Midwest, and maybe you can find some form there, or maybe you'll be cheering up at Jeddah Country Club by then. Who would know?
I'd like to think the latter. On the Corrales Punta Cana, we didn't cover it last week, but heartbreak for Ben Martin.
Oh, did you see the
former winner? Hasn't won in 7 or 8 years.
Post-tournament interview. Oh, crikey.
Tough scenes, poor man.
Very much so.
If you don't know, he missed what, a 1 foot, 2 foot putt to get into a playoff after Chad Ramey came flying home with 4 straight birdies. And he missed it. Dropped the lollies.
Yeah. Losing like that it's hard to take. You know, if you've got a 24-foot putt that you have to make to get into a playoff and you miss, well, you can take that. But that was almost a gimme. Almost.
Yeah. Maybe they should have just given it to him.
Wow.
I had a putt on Saturday at Interclub to get a half in our 4-ball. It was probably about 15 foot up the hill, right to left. As soon as I hit it, I was like, that is in. Started doing a fist pump. Got to about here, and it's whipped around the hole and come back at me. Absolute heartbreak.
What course?
That was a Bullcott here in Wellington.
Bullcott
Farms.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't the 18th. It was the 13th. We started on 14.
You have a shotgun?
Yeah.
Where's the 13th, 13, 14?
Stroke hole 1, long par 4, into the wind. It's pretty tough.
10, 11, 12, 13.
Riveting. Do you know the 13th at Bullcott, Pat?
I do, yes. The par 5 comes after it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nasty
foot golf course.
Yeah.
The foot golf. How good is foot golf at Bullcott?
They still do that.
Yeah. For those of you out there that want a fun day, go check it out. Big question of the week. Will he or won't he?
Tiggy.
Yeah. Patrick?
Yeah, I'm still skeptical. I know there's more news this morning. Was he at Augusta with JT
Practice
and
round.
Charlie?
Yeah.
I know we're hearing he's desperate to play and everything, but I can't see Tiger really pushing it if he's not ready. Like, the man, it's not like he's got a lot to prove. So yeah, I think
he struggled to. What was that father-son tournament?
Yeah.
And he was in a cart half the time.
That was 6 months ago, 5 months ago.
We're talking 4 rounds at Augusta. That's an undulating course, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yes.
It's not flat.
I know. I've been there many times.
It's up to yeah. On what? Tiger
Woods
2000
golf. Yeah.
And I don't think Tiger's going to want to show up there and shoot 78, 80 and fly home with Bryson on Friday night. Like, I think it's not going to be a matter of just getting in there and like making an appearance. He's going to want to be able to play good golf if he is in the field. So yeah. That's why I'm leaning towards he won't.
Are we saying $1.20 no? He won't be there?
I'd take the $1.20 if you're offering it.
Okay. Even more.
What about the $51 to win it? That must be the highest price Tiger's ever been.
What price was he the first time he came back?
31s. Oh.
When he came back.
I don't know. When he won in 2019, those 31s,
which
was huge unders. But clearly it was overs given he won. But before the tee, it wasn't. 51s. Oh, a cheeky 5 on that.
I'll give you 61s if you want, Karl.
Yeah, I'll cheeky 5 on that one too.
Here we go.
Yeah, I guess we'll know more in the next couple of days. If he been playing Medina the last couple of days, walking around there, and then you'll get a pretty good stare after today or tomorrow. Consecutive rounds at Augusta. Like you say, I don't think he's going to come back and push it. The Open, St. Andrews seems like the one.
The best.
Yeah. She's pretty flat, pretty good walk. Again, saying that like I've been there 1,000 times, which I haven't. But yeah, interesting. Anyway, I saw a good tweet. I can't remember who it was, but something along the lines of if you're still not sure who moves the needle in the golfing world, Scotty Scheffler won his 3rd tournament in 5 starts and became world number 1. Wasn't trending. Tiger turned up to play Medina and then Augusta, and Twitter almost breaks. So he is the needle.
He's leading the PIP.
Oh yeah. Shout out Phil. Woohoo. Paul, LPGA. We're back. I don't want Atthaya Titical had a great win last week. 19-year-old. She is going to be a superstar.
Yeah, had to do it in a playoff as well. Another playoff against Nana Madsen, who won
the week before.
Yes,
2 weeks before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's some very, very good golf being played there. Unfortunately for Madsen, she went left off the tee on the first or second playoff? Oh, down the 18th anyway. Had a terrible lie. Tried to reach the green in 2 and put it in the water. That was basically the tournament gone. Titical played some very, very solid golf. Another young Thai player. So they're really producing. They're starting to become like a mini Korea, to be fair, because we all know that there are a number of very, very good female golfers coming out of Korea.
Give us the Women's President's Cup, please.
Make it a combined event, surely. That would be perfect, right? Because you got the US men who are pretty dominant, and then the US women, I think, would struggle to hang with the
Koreans
international
or the internationals. Yeah. Lydia will be in there too.
Maybe just international women versus the US men.
Now we're talking.
That'd be a good event. Typical into $19 for this week, and Nana Kurtz Madsen 26s. Pat, I think when you and I picked her a couple of weeks ago, she was at 130s or something.
Yeah, no, she was $100 extra back in Singapore. Then when I first had my scan through the odds for the Chevron, I was hoping I'd get her in that mid-range tier, but not to be, unfortunately. She's certainly flying.
No. There's a lot of golfers in that top tier, or our top tier, under $30 to pick from this week, and I had about 3 of them that I want to pick.
I've got a couple.
We'll get to. You've got one.
I didn't have to look too far down the page either.
Everyone listening knows exactly who you've got. Anything else sort of last week or that we want to cover off in the golfing world?
Oh, just shout out the Qatar Masters as well. That was a great little carnage watch on Sunday night. The wind was blowing like Wellington on a bad day over there, and there was balls going all sorts of places. Matt Jordan,
7 or 8 under. 7 or 8 under to win the tournament.
Yeah, after I think the leader was 9 under at the halfway stage, so it certainly got pretty crazy there. Matt Jordan, who was leading at the turn, and then had a ball bounce off some rocks and go 30 yards right on the 10th, and there was some confusion about whether a volunteer had found it in the time limit and not told him or not, and he ended up having to replay his shot and went downhill from then. I think bogeyed his next 3 holes, so that was horribly unlucky, but yeah, always enjoyed.
Actually, I had a bit of a name drop here, but I spoke to New Zealand's #1 golfer, Ryan Fox, last night. And
I thought you were going to say Lydia Ko.
Men's golfer, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For another podcast that I am on. That's not sponsored by the TAB. Deep rough. No. And I asked him about the wind, because I've always said this thing, on the PGA Tour, it seems like whenever the wind's up, they shut the tournament down, and it's all very precious. Oh, it's too windy, we can't play. And I asked him about it, and he said, out on the DP World Tour, it's definitely not. And he said it's, Wellington at its windiest, they're playing, and it's ridiculous, to the point. He said actually the Vic Open,
yes,
came second.
Yeah, and it was blowing
he
like
said
crazy.
Windiest day they ever played, like to the point where the balls were almost rolling off the green if you couldn't get them sitting on a dimple properly. But yeah, he said he did confirm that on the PGA Tour they seem to take it a little easier on the players, because they're not so used to wind over there.
Play they
so, yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway, should we have a look at the betting results from last week?
Well, hey,
boys are
what was the Quinella paying?
Oh yeah,
don't know. But
I forgot to ask the guys, could you multi up to make the final?
We will start with the man to my left, Paul. Alrighty. Scotty Scheffler to win, tick. Scotty Scheffler semi-final, tick. Went pretty hard on Joaquin Niemann.
No good.
And Eric Van Rooyen.
No good.
No good.
No.
With that said, though, you are up 165 for the week.
Yeah.
Plus 165.
Hello.
My one. Down the page. Scotty Scheffler win, tick. Scotty Scheffler to make the final, tick. John Rahm, Group 1 winner, yes. Kevin Kisner, Group 6. And Brooks Koepka, Group 16. All winners. Up $375 for the week. How good. Plus all my personal multis. And Patrick, Kevin Kisner to make the final and Kevin Kisner to make the semi-final. Tick, tick. Up 230 for the week. Just want to give a shout out to Tom Hills. If he's listening, that was Patrick's second or third show, and he's already made more money than you.
Wow.
Total.
Wow.
Let's go to the totals. Patrick / Tom, minus 176. So well done, Patrick, to you. Current Rookie of the Year favourite.
It's a hot
Paul,
field.
Minus 44.50, almost back to square.
Come on, and I know who's going to get me back into the good stuff.
And myself, plus $976.55. God, I wish I'd backed them all myself. Silly. Good
So you
stuff.
can't start now because that'll just jinx it all.
I know. I've got a theme. You gave me a bit of stick for it early doors, Paul, but it's working. My system.
It is working.
It is working, and we will continue. Before we get there, though, Kiwi Corner. What's happening with the Kiwis this week, Paul?
We've got Daniel Hillier on the Challenge Tour, playing in the Limpopo Championship in Africa. Danny Lee, of course, will be taking part in the Texas Open. And Lydia Ko will be at the Chevron Championship.
Dan Hillier, $34.
Not the worst.
Not the worst.
Who's at the top of the market?
JC Ritchie. Never heard of him.
There'll be a whole lot of South Africans, I guess.
Wilco Ninaba. I like him.
Mm.
Absolutely beats the crap out of the ball. Yeah, interesting. What's old Danny Lee looking like this week? He had a flat. Was it not last week? Week before, wasn't it? Flash in the pan.
Second, tied for second at the Valspar after the first round, but
yeah,
fortunately couldn't keep it up.
He just going to quickly Danny Lee 126s this week.
Yep.
And Lid's obviously very short.
13.
12s.
13.
Oh, she out to 13s.
12s.
Yeah, 12s.
13. 13.
13s. This must be Paul's got an in to the back end of the system, and he can manipulate the odds and he sees fit.
He'll open Photoshop to manipulate some prices if he needs to.
I'll get a co-booster.
All right. Is that because you've flipped your ticket 10 times, the next one's
free coffee?
The boost, yeah. $13. All right. Get to a bit of a preview. We're going to do 2 tournaments this week, the Texas Open and the Chevron Championship. Where do you guys want to start? Should we start in Texas and finish with the major?
Texas?
Probably makes sense.
Yep. Paul, what do you know about the Valero Texas Open?
It's played at the TPC San Antonio Oaks course in San Antonio, funnily enough, San Antonio, Texas. It's a Greg Norman designed track, par 72. Pretty much a straightforward 4 par 5s, 4 par 3s. As in most courses in Texas, is wind affected.
Mm-hmm.
So players who can, I guess, thrive or sort of survive in windy conditions are certainly towards the top there. I think greens and regulation, a key stat here. We probably want to be hitting it a wee bit further than the accuracy for mine. Putting comes in big time in Texas, and pretty much in most courses in Texas. If you're looking for course correlation, then or tournaments, the Sunny Open at the Wailea Country Club, the Mayakoba, which is another Greg Norman design course at El Camaleon, and the Puerto Rico Open, where they get a wee bit of wind as well. So, yeah, that's about it for Texas.
Nice. Patrick, what do you got to add there?
Yeah, no, I think Paul's pretty much summed it up. It seems like there is some really good sort of correlation form with the Mayakoba, which is played at another Greg Norman design, and Sony, Puerto Rico, a few tournaments like that. They all link in pretty well together. Obviously, yeah, the wind, I don't think it's going to be super high this week, but it can play a role. So anyone who's got sort of good links or desert form has to come into consideration. But more than anything, it seems like you need to be someone who can get the ball close to the hole from the fairway, strokes gained approach, and tee to green. Big indicators. Scrambling in greens and reg can certainly help, but they don't look like they're essentials. So I'm looking at guys who can, really strike it from the fairway.
Yeah, nice. Couple of extra little stats to back up what the boys have said there. 6 of the last 7 winners have ranked inside the top 5 for putting average. And the last 4 of those winners have finished inside the top 4 for strokes gained, approach, and tee to green. So, as you say, Pat, pretty important there. Another little tidbit, 11 of the last 24 winners of this Texas Open have all been Texans. So you want someone who is a Texas native, or perhaps lives in Texas now. A few internationals call Texas home, so
I could be in a bit of trouble then.
You could be,
yeah.
And another little thing I found, which I love this. If you prefer to bet and play, which we've had detailed discussions about this in the past, have a look at the top 5 after the 36 holes. At the halfway mark, 9 of the last 11 winners have been sitting inside the top 3 after 36 holes, and 7 of those 11 have been leading after 54 holes. So, might find some value in the top 3 or 4 and after 36 holes.
Good.
Here we go. Let's go to some betting, and we'll stick with the man who came last week. Still had a good week though. Profit, but not as much profit as everyone else. Paul, where are you going?
I'm going with that great Texan Cory Collins from Canada. He is $17 to win here. He's won here before. He's coming in with some pretty good form, to be fair. He was 3rd at the match play, top 30 at the Players, and just outside the top 10 at the Arnold Palmer. I just like the look of Cory at the moment, as he showed in the World Match Play. He's really coming into a wee bit of form and doesn't mind Texas. He's 7th in strokes gained off the tee. I see him getting very, very close. So I'm very happy to take the $17 on Cory Collins.
I'll jump in here because I've also got Cory Collins at $17, which I struggled with the top of the market here. Yeah. I like Abraham Answer too, but Cory Collins, as you say, is in a lot better form. Played very well last week. He's actually been the 4th best player in the field in the last 3 months. 5th strokes gained tee to green, 6th off the tee, 15th approach, 22nd around the green. Big issue is his inability to putt short putts. So I don't know. Just got to get the rock rolling for 4 days, I guess. As I say, he's won here before, so can do it. Yeah, Cory Collins at $17. Patrick.
I also was pretty keen on Honest Abe. He's probably my 2nd pick, but I'm going for a man who is just bang out of form at the moment. Can't buy a hole, but this is the week he gets back on track. Tony Finau, $34.
Whoa!
The man, yeah, like
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the recent form doesn't read super well, but he was paying, like, you'd get shorter prices than this on him in much better fields 6 weeks ago. You think about what he was paying at the Farmers or Phoenix and places like that. So $34 against this lot looks very appealing to me. He matches up super well. We talk about the course form. He's got 2 past top 10s at the Mayakoba. He was 4th at the MX down in the desert at Palm Springs earlier this season, and last year, which is his last appearance there. Has obviously won at Puerto Rico. He's 26th on tour in strokes gained approach, despite playing horribly. So he can obviously do a lot better there. And a lot of the guys ahead of him aren't in the field this week. 15th strokes gained tee to green last season, and top 15 will be the last 3 Open Championships. So doesn't mind it if the win gets up. Yeah, just think at the price, maybe you won't win. I don't know if you guys have touched on his record winning tournaments on here in the past, but certainly the money available for top 5s and top 10s is very appealing.
I'm all for Tony Finau anytime we can back Tony. just having a look at his form against the field in the last 3 months. 7th in approach, 32nd off the tee, and 19th tee to green. So he's in pretty good form. Around the greens, big issue though. 105th around the greens and putting out of 137 people. So Yeah.
You know what they say, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Yep. I think you'll find if we look back, those stats might be very similar. Dating a long way back. No, all four, Tony. Patrick, not Patrick, Paul, your mid-tier, please.
Doug Gim at $67. Only played here once last year, finishing 44th, but he comes in off a 6th placing at the Players. Once again, he's a player that will need the putter to warm up a wee bit, but his approach play has been very, very good so far this season. So I'm happy to take a wee bit of a stab on Doug Gim at $67.
Nice. I'm going to take Chris Kirk at $31. Having a hell of a year and can get his 5th title here. Hasn't won in more than 7 years, which is a bit of an issue, but he's made the cut here in 3 of the last 5 starts, finishing T6, T8, and T13 when he has made the cut. So he knows the course well. Recent form pretty good. T14, T7, and T5 at Phoenix Honda and the Arnold Palmer. Did miss the cut at the Players, but I think given the state of that, we can probably forgive him there. Strokes gained, he's 5th strokes gained total, 6th tee to green, 10th off the tee, 25th approach, and 6th around the greens. It's all versus the field. In the last 3 months, he's had success at the Sony and the Maya Cobra in the past. He ticks a lot of boxes for me this week. Chris Kirk at $31. Patrick?
Nice. I'm going for another favourite of the cut line, or recent, well, content provider for the cut line, shall we say, Matt Kuchar, $67. Goes well here. He's been top 12 in his last 2 visits to TPC San Antonio. Famously won the Maya Cobra Classic in the past, so we know he does well on the Greg Norman designs, goes well in windy conditions, good record at the Open and whatnot. And he's second on tour for scrambling this year, so if he does get in any trouble around the greens, he should be able to get himself out of it. I think he at a good price profile as well to have a good week here.
Cooch. Paul, what do you got?
Danny Lee, $126.
What? Sorry, continue.
Wow. Bagging the Kiwis.
No, I'm not bagging the Kiwis. Good, go. Sell me.
Look, he's been up and down here, to be fair. He had to withdraw at the Texas Open last season, but in 2019, he finished 7th. He's also, as we mentioned before, got off to a big hot start at the Valspar, and still finished off nicely there, even though he had, I think the second round was very disappointing. He's a player who has performed well in Texas before. He doesn't mind the wind. So at 126, I think he's worth a stab. Danny Lee.
Nice. Just looking at his strokes gained data here for the last little while. There's a lot of reds.
Don't worry about the red.
Okay. Red's not good, just for reference. I'm going for a Texan here. Kramer Hickok at $101. He is 0-2 in terms of cuts made versus missed here. So not a good start. But with that said, I think he profiles pretty well. As I said, he's a Texan. He's had consecutive top 20 finishes at the Sony Open. Recent form reads T42, T33, and T13. So he's trending on the up. Strokes gained, he ranks 30th off the tee, 53rd approach, and 16th in putting versus the field in the last 3 months. So stab in the dark, Kramer Hickok at $101. Patrick.
I'm also, who have I got here? Aaron Rye at $126. I think he's a nice little bit here. Hasn't played at the Texas Open before, but he was 15th on his first visit to the Maya Cobra Classic late last year. That's one of 4 top 20s he's got on the PGA Tour this season. Usually goes well in the sort of windy conditions. He's got a good record in the desert and former winner of the Scottish Open. So profiles are there. He can he's good with his approach play and his irons as well. So if he's got them dialed in, he can make up a few strokes approach-wise. So I think he profiles very well. I just do also want to give a quick shout-out to former world #1 Luke Donald, who's $251 in the market. He was 16th in the Valspar in his last appearance, so in some sort of form, and 4th for strokes gained approach on the tour this season, which jumped out at me in red flashing lights. So yeah, certainly worse stabs in the dark at 251 to 1.
278th in driving distance.
Is there even that many people on tour?
No,
driving distance not essential this week.
Send me a quick, very quick scan. Who'd you say? Luke Donald.
Mm-hmm.
Down the page. Just looking for a top 40, 433. This basically has to make the cut. Cool. That'll do us for the Valero Texas Open, unless I've missed anything. No. Proceed.
Everything I needed to say.
The Chevron Championship on the LPGA, the first major of the year, the first of 5 for the women. It's the last year that it's going to be played.
Yep, Chevron are moving it.
Mission Hills Country Club.
Going to Texas.
Yeah. So this will be the last year we see someone dive into Poppy's Pond.
Correct.
It's a shame.
It is. It's, it's sort of, I guess, it's become synonymous with this tournament. It's just it's a nice little tradition. That,
what are they going to be jumping into now? A big vat of oil? Perhaps?
Or a smoker?
Too soon?
Wow.
Shout out Chevron. Patty Tavatanikit, defending champ, and get her at 21s this week. Jing Young Ko, the $6 favorite. And there's no surprises why. She won what, six of her last 10? Is that right?
Yes.
That is
5 of her last 9.
That is sickening.
So she's going at the same rate as Scheffler over his last 5 tournaments, both going at around 60%.
Wow.
She hasn't finished worse than T6 in any of those 9.
Correct.
Wow. That's Tiger-like. All right, what do we know about the course, Paul?
Where are we? We're at Mission Hills Country Club in Rancho Mirage, California. As you say, the 18th, the par 5 with Poppy's Pond in front of the green, is the most memorable hole on the course, I guess. But the 2 holes before that, the par 3 17th and the par 4 16th, where a bit of water comes into play as well, have been critical in the who decides who wins the tournament. I think Lydia Ko won 2016, and I think, was it Aria Jutanugarn who had the lead and put it in the water once or twice over those final 3 holes. So I'm looking for accuracy, keeping the ball in play, and making birdies when they play. A hot putter always comes in handy. I think the course record might actually be held by Lydia Ko. The 61 that she shot in the final round last year. 62, I think it was. So I'm looking for a player who plays like Lydia Ko.
That do we even need to move on? Like, we're done. No. Patrick, anything to add here?
Not really. I think Paul's pretty much, you need to be hitting greens. That seems like a key indicator. You can score here. Like, it usually takes a pretty low score to win the tournament, but if you're missing by not much around some of these greens, there's a lot of bunkers, and then the water in play on the last few holes, so you can get yourself in trouble. I think you got to have a pretty tight all-round game, not making any mistakes, and capitalize on the birdie opportunities when you get a chance. So, in summary, get the ball from the tee to the hole and as few shots as possible.
Yeah, I agree. The average score here over the last 10 years is just a touch better than minus 13. Last year was 18 under. So big there. I had a look back at a few of the last 5 or 6 years of the winners, and they were all in really good form to start the year, which is probably not a big shock. And I went pretty deep into course form too.
I can tell you, when Lydia Ko won in 2016, she came in off a second and a first. When So Yeon Yu won in 2017, she came in off a 5th and a 2nd. when Jin Young Ko won in 2019, she came in off a win in a second.
Yeah. So thanks for backing up what I thought, is you need to be in pretty good form. But I found a cool website that I tried to sign up to get into the stats even more. But golfstats.com have given me all the women in the field, how many starts they've had at the Chevron, how many top tens, the average finishing score, and all of that. So it's looking at this, I would say this is pretty heavy horses for courses type course. So I'm leaning pretty hard into that this week. You know, I love course form, Paul.
Big time.
Love
And I think it really, I mean, you probably want to look at course form next week as well.
Yes. Yes.
Just saying.
Just saying. Alrighty. We'll go reverse. Patrick, who you got best bet?
So you're saying you want to be in a reasonable form coming into this tournament to win it? I'm going with a lady who's
the last couple of years, Miriam Lee won in 2020. She came in off 2 miscuts. And then last year, Paddy came in off a 14th and a miscut. But I think they were funny years because of COVID. So we can sort of...
14th is still pretty good golf.
Yes, well, for her, that was her first year on tour as well. So, yeah, I think 2020, just forget about that. I think the good pointer is you better be playing some good golf coming into this and have some good course stats if you want to be a big chance.
Well, a certain Jin Young Ko is T4 1 1, T6 1 1, T2 T6 1. Last 9 tournaments, 1 and T7. Last 2 visits to the ANA. Take the $6, run to the bank, but it should be half that price. Jin Young Ko, just a great bet this week. She's absolutely flying.
Yes.
No Nelly Corder in the field as well is a huge factor there. They're probably one of the other 3 best players in the world alongside her and Lydia. So.
If that was Tiger back in his prime, it'd be $3 top price.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just look at
she is playing in the same sort of realm at the moment.
Now I don't want to miss out. Now I want to defend my lead and just back Jin Young Ko. But I won't. I'll stick with what I've got. I'm going to go next, just if I don't get it.
Wow.
I'm going Charlie Hull at $26.
Go. England.
Yeah. Started the year in good form. 4th at the Gamebridge, 11th at the drive on, and 7th last week. She is ranked 10th strokes gained. How good is the strokes gained data for the woman now? Just FYI, if you weren't aware.
It's been years in the making.
Oh, yeah. They could do a little bit of work on the website. It's very hard to navigate, very niggly, but anyway, we'll get in there.
First go.
We get in there. She's 10th tee to green this season, 14th off the tee, 13th for greens in regulation and scoring average. In her 8 starts here, she's made the cut 8 times. She has 3 top 10s. Her last 5 starts here read T2, T14, T6, T12, T14. But $26. And, sorry, she has the best average finishing position in the field at this tournament, which is 14.9. So if we had a top 15 market, take it. But we don't. But Charlie Hull, $26 for me. Paul. Lydia Ko.
I agree with Patrick. I think Jin Young Ko, you have to bet Jin Young Ko at $6. And I will be. Yeah. I will be betting on Jin Young Ko. I found someone else, Lydia Ko.
Who's that?
The in-depth research you've done for this tournament, Paul, it's really...
At $13. She's another one who comes in with some pretty good form. Won 4 starts back. Has had a number of top finishes since then. She's 19th in Pittsburgh green and regulation, 21st in putting average. She's 1st in sand saves, 49th in greens and regulation. She had a week off with COVID, and that may have actually done her a bit of a favour, given her a wee bit of a rest to come back freshened for this. As I said, she won here back in 2016. hit the course record 62 in the final round last season when finishing second behind Paddy Tavatanikit. So Lydia Ko is in my staking plan at $13.
Just having a look when she obviously, like you say, won in 2016, was T11 2017, and then she had those, 2018, 2019, 2 bad years for mids.
Yep.
And then 2020 was the sort of start of her resurgence. She finished 6th and then 2nd. So
she's back.
I do like Lydia too. And as the boys have said, back Jing Yun Ko. Mid-tiers, Patrick.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record here because I've gone for a lady I tipped out last time we previewed the HSBC champions, but talking about horses for courses, I just can't go away from Aria Jatanagarn at her price. She's up at $71, not in the best form recently, but it did win twice on tour last year, so she's still there or thereabouts. And then just her course form, she's got 4 top 11 finishes in the last 6 visits to Mission Hills. Hasn't won here, so that is a factor to consider. But if you're looking for, we talk about how hot the form is at the top of the field. If you're looking for someone to fill in those T5s and T10s, she's certainly got to be a pretty good candidate at that $71 mark.
It's funny you say the last name Jatanagarn.
Hello, sis.
I'm going to take her sister. Moria. Yeah, that makes more sense. Started the season all right, making 5 or 6 cuts, 2 top 16 finishes. But the big takeaway was last week. She's 28th in putting average, 46 putts per green in regulation, and 22nd in birdies made. Just needs to not make as many bogeys. Good course form, finishing no worse than T18 here in her last 4 starts. T6, T12, T18, T10. So yeah, it's $71. Like her sister, she can make some noise for me. Cool.
I've gone with a Jatanagarn, not your one. I've gone with Aria as well.
Oh. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like a long shot, baby.
Easy. Ruffy, Pat.
Once again, have previously tipped this woman out, but Yelimi knows $176. Like she's big price considering she was T3 and T13 in 2 majors last season, so can hang with the big girls when in the big tournaments. Top 20 at the HSBC Women's Champions, which included a 64. So we know she can go low on her day. I think she's certainly capable of putting in a couple of low rounds here and running a good race. So I think this $176 just looked very appealing to me. But I swear I did actually do research. I didn't just type in the same 2 names. I just think the prices are crazy for those 2.
I've gone Gabby Ruffles.
Oh, get out of it. She finished 19th there last year. I've got her locked in for a top 20 finish.
She was 15th the year before as the best amateur.
She loves it. This course suits her.
Yeah. 2 from 2. I don't know what else you want to say. She's had 3 events this year in okay form, T28, T12, miscut. In the minors, definitely.
I'm on her as well.
Yeah, that's your Ruffy?
Yes. I'm going to take her for a top 20 finish. She'll be around the $10, $11 mark there. She's 201 to win.
Yep.
I probably won't even have a little stab on that, but I certainly like her to finish top 10, top 20.
Yep. Easy. Boys are vibing this week. Alrighty. That will do us. No promos this week on the golf, unfortunately. But from what I understand, we'll be back next week with the Masters for sure. Something there for the punters.
Yes.
Until then, thank you, lads.
We're doing our staking plan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Didn't want to mention that.
Sorry, man. Hold the phone. Don't hang up the headphones yet. Let's go, Patrick. What do you got? $100.
All right, we'll start off at Mission Hills, keeping it pretty simple here. Jin Young Ko win $30 at $6. Then just a couple of little stabs on you let me know. Have $1 on her to win at 176 just for mental health sake, and then $5 on top 10. It should be around the $15 mark. Over to Texas, I'm going to save on Rory and Abraham Answer because I think they can both win this. So $10 on Rory to win at 8s and 5 on Honest Abe at 21s. Then $3 on Tony Finau to win at 34. $2 on Matt Kuchar and Rasmus Højgaard, each at $67 to win. $1 on Aaron Rai and Luke Donald to win at 251 and 126. Then for the main bets, Tony Finau, $5 top 5 at 8s, $12 on the top 10 at 450, $8 on Cooch top 10 at 750, $10 Aaron Rai top 20 at 6s, and 5 on Luke Donald top 20 at 11.
Is there any bets left for the rest of us? Jesus. I don't know how you keep track of that. It's good. I'll go next, and I will start in Texas. $10 Cory Collins a win, and $10 Cory Collins top 5 at 17s and 450. $10 on Chris Kirk top 5 at 9s. $20 on Charlie Hoffman for top 10 at $5. And even though he's in poor form, you need to look at his course form here. He's won in 2016, was second last year. Very good record at Sony, Mayakoba. Against the field on the course, he's first strokes gained total tee to green, ball striking and approach. Loves this course. Charlie Hoffman, top 10 there. Then I'm going a little $10 two-leg group betting multi. I'll take Abraham Answer, who's up against Bryson, Siwoo Kim, and Tony, plus Maverick McNeely, who is going up against Jason Day, Ryan Palmer, and Thigala. $10 at 11.37s. Then over to the Chevron, I've got $10 on Lydia Ko to win at $12. $10 on Charlie Hall to win at 26s. I'll have $10 on Charlie Hall for a top 5. Don't know the price yet. And I'm told, I should have mentioned this earlier, there will be some power plays for the women.
Good.
So I'll have $10 on a power play, just TBC. Patrick, if you want to rewire $10, I will allow it for a power play, or some money for a power play, you can. Over to you, Paul.
All of my bets are going to be placed at the Mission Hills Country Club.
Nice.
$20 on $40 on Jin Young Ko to win at 6. $20 on Lydia to win at 13. $20 on Lydia for a top 5. $10 on Danielle Kang for a top 5, and $10 on Gabriella Ruffles for a top 20.
Nice. Do like that. This time. Now we're done. Are we?
We're done.
We're done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. To everyone out there, thank you for listening. And we'll be back next week to preview the Masters. Until then, go well. Good luck on the punt. And we'll see you next week on the cut line.